All right, you should be able to see a slide now. We don't have that much dual content on the slides. It's more like a reminder to what kind of topic we are at. Like if you head out or get interrupted by a pet or wife or whatever, and then turn your attention back to us that you do not get lost. Most of the parts that infos that people will give you are going to be them talking. But also, we'll have some nice pictures on here, so Bilbo is tuning in. 5 minutes past, so I think we can get started. With that, welcome to this State of the Org meeting, December 2024, the last one of the year, obviously. We had just one this year, definitely something that I want to increase again next year. We have like a better, more consistent flow of them. Yes, like I said, this will be recorded, hopefully be posted to YouTube sometime tomorrow or so. So if someone misses that. For today, we're going to talk about a CLD update, a JSGE update, some Discord changes. Lycan will give us some updates for S3. I have a very short recap of CitizenCon. This is not what CRG told us at CitizenCon. It's more about like what we did as an org and the booth and all. It's not like if you want to have a recap of what CRG did at CitizenCon, watch some of your favorite content creators. They do that for you, and I won't talk half an hour about that. But if you have questions about like some of the stuff and how it relates to the org, that's part for the Q&A. At the end. And yes, that on the right are myself, Dragon of Fog, and Actius doing some funny things at the booth. With that, I would like to hand it over to Ruckus for the CLD update.
Oh, up first this time around. All right. So this will be an update from the Commerce and Logistics, or CLD. First off, we're going to start off with a yearly recap. So recap from this year, first of all, as many of you have already known, there has been some leadership changes within CLD on the top leadership. Myself, I've become the new director of CLD. I don't see him in here right now, but Director Zan has since stepped down. He is still with us here in the org, but he was one of the ones that helped create CLD, and he's been around a long time, so he was just time to pass on the torch. So I've taken up that torch, and I hope I carry on CLD like he has wanted. Along with that, and Matt Burt also this year has become an executive, which is the XO of CLD for the EU. Another leadership change would be Lordred became a lead for CLD. Some more updates. So some of the work we've done this year, we've updated some of our CLD training. So the self-defense course has been updated, as some of you have known. I've put it on a couple times the last couple months, as well as the interdiction evasion training. If you have already done those trainings, it might be good to eventually do them again, just because there've been updates to them, as well as if you have not done them. They're good trainings, as well as they help you move up through CLD. And these trainings will continue to be worked on as the game continues to change. It's unfortunately the nature of the beast. Things will keep changing within Star Citizen, so we'll keep changing along with them with our trainings. We had an OVO not too long ago against Nova. CLD was a big part of that one. For the first time we actually were on a ship doing combat in a long time, alongside the Marines and the Air Wing. So thank you for everyone who helped put that together. All the CLD and non-CLD members who helped get some money for it, get weapons, whatever you. Thank you very much. We couldn't have done it without you guys. Unfortunately, Star Citizen being Star Citizen, we ended up having to cancel it partially into the match, but it was fun all the same. Thank you again for that. And also thank you for all those who participated in the OVO, be it CLD, Marines, Air Wing, etc. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. So, unfortunately, I didn't know I'd be going first today, but as you will learn when JSGE gets up here, there's some changes going on in the org, as you may have already seen within the Discord. Alongside that, CLD has made some changes, and we might make a few more tweaks here and there, depending. The main of those changes, we have deleted some channels within the CLD area of the Discord. That would include the CLD library is gone. That was already covered by the info repository, so I moved everything that needed to be moved, and now everything you need to find about websites, documents, things like that will all be within the CLD repository. Layouts and gear, we also repository can cover that. It wasn't used at all. I deleted that. CLD event channel is now gone. That was mainly made when the senior techs and those who are new as senior techs. You guys, as I've told you, can do events, and that's what that channel was for, to teach you how, which I'm now doing myself. Other than that, I will be taking a couple more channels, mainly the two market channels that are up there, and combining them into one market, name to be determined once I figure out how I want to do that. But that's where you'll go to do want to buys, trades, selling to CLD, all that kind of things that you guys have done in the past will all be in one channel now. Next slide, please. Feed the Beast. So for those who have been around for the big wipes and updates for Star Citizen here in BSI, know what this is. For those that haven't, I'll explain it here for you. So first of all, I want to say thank you for all those, the last big update we had the money wipe that joined up with me in the 2 Feed the Beasts I did. We raised somewhere around, I don't remember exact numbers anymore, it was a while ago, but it's around 50 million AUEC for the org. It was awesome. Unfortunately, now with 4.0 out in the preview live, as they're calling it, we have wiped again. What this means for BSI is our coffers are empty, our armory is empty, everything's gone just like everyone else's. So I will be holding another, I don't know, 1 or 2, maybe more, depending, Feed the Beasts. What these are events that CLD puts on, and anyone's welcome to join, be it CLD, not CLD. And we do various things depending on what people want to do, salvaging, missions, mining, what have you, basically to earn money for the people attending and for the org. Usually they're 24-hour events. The last time I did them both on my own, stayed up to 24 hours both times. This time I think we're gonna go for more of a, people are gonna help me out. We're gonna do shifts. So keep an eye on that on the event board. I'll be posting those here probably not too long. Salvaging, selling, salvage is a bit borked right now in 4.0, I've heard. So we're going to test that a little bit, and then I can come up with a better idea of when we'll do these Feed the Beasts. So it's a good way for you guys to make money, and then we do take a cut for the org, and it makes money for the org, and that money goes to things like org versus org fights, training, basically anything the org needs money for to help us run things. Yeah, other than that, next slide, please. CLD leads. As always, can never have too many leads. We need more leads here in CLD. You may ask yourself, what does a lead do? I might want to do that. CLD leads do things like run trainings, review cert videos, host official events on BSI's Discord, accepts donations. So if people are like, I got weapons I want to give away, or I got some AUEC that I want to give to the org, they collect those donations. Make weapons purchases for members. So once we get our coffers back up and building, what we've done in the past is we have a list of weapons that our military likes to use, and we put prices up. And if you guys have them, we will buy them for higher than market price. Helps you guys earn money, helps or get weapons. It's a great kind of situation we had with that. And of course, they lead teams during operations. So during OVOs and different official events, fly togethers, things like that, leads help run like the reclaimers and the hauling crews and various CLD ships. If you're interested or you'd like to know more about being a CLD lead, you please contact myself, my executive Matt Burt, or any lead of CLD if you are indeed interested. Next slide. Other than that, as we know, the holidays are coming up. I just want to say, from me and all my leadership in CLD, happy holidays. I just want to throw out there that, as my usual thing for different holidays in here BSI, I will be running, and it's already up on the event board, a Christmas Day holiday kind of get together that we just hang out, watch movies, play random games, things like that. So If you have nothing to do or you may not celebrate Christmas, you're welcome to join. Or even if you do celebrate and you just want to do something, please do. Other than that, thank you very much. That's it from CLD.
Thank you, Raucus. Yeah, sorry for making you go first. I wasn't sure if the others would be in time, so I moved you up. But then when I knew they would be coming in time, I got to move you down again. Sorry. All right. With that, we are going over to the JSG update. JSG has a new commander. That's Starbuck, and Starbuck will fill you in. Take over.
Yeah, so I'm Starbuck, in case you didn't know. So I'm not going to bore you with who I used to be when a year ago, whatever. I'm just going to start off with the changes to JSGE. We're going to be streamlining things. All this stuff is a work in progress right now, as not all of it is completed. We have the Naval and Marine Academy. This is going to be used such as how we had already. You guys had the 501st recruit. You had the 332nd Marine recruit. This is basically going to funnel everyone into a pathway before they actually become full members of JSGE. Some people have already experienced the Viper side of it, which is the precursor to becoming part of Reaper Squadron, where you go in, there's certain things you do, but all the training is going to be housed there. So you can become part of Hyperion, part of Reaper, part of the Marines, part of Medical, whatever, what have you. But all the training will still exist in the academy, because when we grow large enough and we have to start another strike group, still all the training will exist there, and everyone's trained the same regardless of which strike group you're in. Obviously, some units might specialize in something else, but that's a future thing. So right now, you have the Reaper Squadron. That's fighter pilots. You have Hyperion Fleet. That is actually the beginnings of what you basically are thinking. Polaris, Idris. Dragon's Fire is now the new designation for VCS, which is combat support. They are exactly what you are thinking it is. They are drop ships, gunships, etc. Combat refuelers, though I highly doubt we're even going to use that. It's more like going to be a CLD thing anyways. But that's future. Marines, obviously, are staying the same. Their name may change. I know Hard Random, he isn't here right now. Hollidays, we haven't been able to touch base to see how he wants to do things. Medical and QRF also will have its own name. That's going to be another new unit. In case you're wondering, Reaper Squadron is commanded by myself. The Hyperion Fleet's commanded by Mag. Dragon's Fire is commanded by Delta. I believe it's here too. Same with Mag. Marines, Hard Random still. Medical is going to be ran by Hatter. The obvious one I haven't mentioned, Blackwater. Blackwater is a in the works unit. This unit will have events every week. Its sole purpose is hunting player bounties and nothing else. That is what it's there to do. It will have requirements such as, you're probably going to have to at least you're going to be in JSGE. So you'll have to be in one of the existing units before you can come into Blackwater and go out and do bounties. This way, we're not sending a lamb to get slaughtered by a wolf, because that would be horrible. But that's what Blackwater is going to be. Next slide. So rank updates. I know there's been some changes to ranks over the past year. However, I'm bringing back the NCO ranks. Naval NCO will be Navy. The Navy NCO ranks will go toward the naval side. So that's medical, fleet, all that. Marines will get actual Marine NCO ranks. The officers are no longer going to be trainers. Officers are going back to the old school way. They will be officers. We're bringing back the academy for both NCOs and officers. Specialist. So real quick on specialist. Specialist is becoming just an enlisted rank. It's not going to have a blue specialist anymore. That rank is going to be for individuals who don't want to be junior leaders. They don't want to go the officer track, and they don't want to be trainers. They're just here to point, click, shoot, kill, whatever. That's what they want to do. They don't want responsibility. That's what those ranks are going to be for. And there's going to be 5 of them. There'll be spec 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is pretty much it on the ranks. I don't think I have another slide, right?
You do, but that's not for your parts, and basically just your Discord changes.
Oh, okay. So I still have another slide. So Discord changes. So with all the changes in JSGE that are going on, and I'm trying to keep this short, and the Discord changes, there is going to be a lot of changes happening over the holiday season. I'm not going to call it a break. And there'll be more happening the first part of 2025, probably. I want to say everything should be done by mid-January. You're going to see channels disappear. You're going to see channels get merged with other channels. You're going to see a ton of voice channels disappear because every category, with the exception of public, is going to have its own voice channel generator. That way, there is no use for having umpteen million voice channels in every category. There's a generator. And we'll be setting up the permissions that certain individuals, depending on what your position, like JSGE. I mean, obviously, leadership and all that within JSGE will have the ability to set channels a specific way to only allow like their unit in or whatever. But that's all in the future. But all that should be done by mid-January. I'm not going to bore you with everything else about it. There's so many changes. We could probably sit here for 2 hours. But also roles are going to be getting fixed. There's a lot of roles right now that from an OPSEC standpoint, you might start noticing some people don't have access to things that they shouldn't have had access to begin with, but they had access. So yeah, all that's being covered. As far as the rest of it, if you have a specific question, that would be more like off to the side. You could ask whatever. And that pretty much sums it up for myself.
Thanks a lot, Starbuck. And then I'll hand it over to Lycan to talk more about what S3 Operations is doing now and the coming month or so. Yeah,
Sure.
Take it away, Lycan.
All right, next slide, please. All right, so a number of things. You guys will notice that the last, 3 or 4 months, due to, server updates, patches, this, that, and the other, the servers not being really conducive, we haven't done a lot of things with fly-togethers or anything else within S3. We're going to be changing that starting probably about the middle of January, when fly-togethers will be coming back. So we will do our normal customary fly-togethers where it's force on force, in the air or in space, or, in the Marines, force on force. And, using some of the new toys and everything that we have. But we're also going to be doing contested zones. All right. And that's the new thing that came out in 4.0. And some few pyro excursions. All right. Form up a little fleet, go into pyro, see what trouble we can get into, which I'm sure that's going to be a lot. And just basically have fun, just shooting stuff and getting shot at. That's what we have there as far as fly-togethers that are coming. Basic training modules. Yeah, all those basic training modules, whether basic pilot or basic marine, they're getting updated. They're getting streamlined. Starbuck, myself, Ruckus, we kind of went through and said, what can we do that is more about, here, read this. All right. And then, we can talk about it. Make sure that you read it. Make sure you got it. Comms brevity happens to be one that comes into mind. Dealing with basic marine, there's some things that we can do from a standpoint of a manual that you can read up on, but you have to know it when you go in to speak with Hard Random or one of his leaders in training. So you do have to do that. So we just want to get it streamlined so we can get people in through the basic training, so then they can get on to the advanced side that they want to go, whether that's on CLD or whether that's on JSGE. Okay. Next slide. Kind of the last thing I want to talk about here is trainers. We talk about needing S3 members for NA and North America S3 trainers and Naval Fleet trainers. Now, just so you know what we're talking about from an S3 member standpoint is someone that can do fly-togethers, someone that can understand, how to put things in the Google Drive, because we do the repository for all training, whether it's CLD or whether it's JSGE. So how we do with that, how we go through and look at training, if there needs to be any updates and those sorts of things. So the trainers also would do that, but what we really want to do from an S3 standpoint for North America is have people that are available to do basic trainings on things. We're not going to do advanced. That that belongs to CLD and JSGE. But we can also be there to provide assistance as whatever JSGE and CLD needs. So we do want to have some trainers from North America that can do that. And like Starbucks said, they're not officers anymore. They can be, as long as you're qualified, or certified to be able to do that training, absolutely. The Naval Fleet Training. All right. So MAG is, of course, commander of the Hyperion Fleet. And so that's really the first iteration of the overall fleet for BSI. So MAG is going to be doing training. He's already in the middle of doing training for helmsmen, turrets, and that sort of thing. So we want people also to be able to be there to help out MAG when he needs it, or if he can't be there, that they can do some training, kind of fill in. And it also makes sure that everyone is focused on how we want to train, what those manuals, what those documents are. So it just keeps everything kind of uniform across the board. So other than that, I mean, happy holidays to everyone, and hope you guys stay safe. And 4.0 released, even though I still can't download it because for some reason it just doesn't want to download. But no, thank you so much, and I think that's all I got, Dragon.
Yes, that's all you got. Thank you so much, Lycan. All right, yay! I'll do a very brief CitizenCon recap. First of all, a huge thanks for everybody who showed up at the booth, was there with us, helped us getting all that set up, especially like Heather, Mike Tyers, and Matt Bird, Delta Coda. You guys helped. Like you did all that. Like it's amazing that we could have that here. So very, very happy we could all get all that done, get all together, have a lot of good time. And then I'll show you now a little video of the booth that Heather took. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, we had a large screen. We had like a game that didn't fully finish, but still was there. We had our sweets, we had our patches, we had bottle opener. We had our banner that we also carried around for the bar citizens, so people could find us, and it worked surprisingly well. We had the coin, of course, for challenge coin. That's still going to go out to members who did a lot for the org. After Christmas craziness is over, I'm going to ship a bunch of them to people who are in staff roles, who are in other like large roles. Oh yeah, and then you see the our image wall of heroes, how we call them, like just like pictures of in-game pictures of some of our leadership, and the banner. That's what we had there. Again, I mostly wanted to say thank you for everybody who helped make that a reality. I know like Lordred did so many pictures for that. It was a lot of effort, and I'm super happy that you all contributed to this. And with that, we'll go over to questions and answers. So if you want to ask something, you can either use that feature where you can raise your hand in the channel, then we can pull you up on stage and you ask it in voice, or you can type it out in the chat to this conversation, and then I'll read it and we'll try to answer it. Mag, you probably can come up here already because I'm pretty sure someone will ask stuff that you will have to answer. But otherwise, like if I find they ask questions that someone else is way more qualified to answer than ask guys up here, I'll just check them up too.
Hey, real quick here, Dragon. I just want to say these pictures that are on this presentation here, Mag, Lordred, Soupy7, thank you very much. You guys took those pictures. We appreciate it very much.
Yes. Exactly. That's by the way, all images I use for the photos, like in general, like since I'm doing them, it's always just from the screenshots channel on the Discord. So thank you all who participate there, because that makes me able to have features like that available for presentations.
Well, a lot of people are typing.
I guess I can throw one thing out while we're. Oh, did you get a question finally?
Not yet. Oh wait, there's from Oxygens. What happened with training requirements for secondaries in JSGE, for example? Can you still attend trainings if it's not your primary branch?
So what we are doing, this was actually going into what I was going to talk about with Ruckus, myself and Ruckus have worked out. If you are primary JSGE, you will bear a JSGE role acronym. It's going to turn color you red. If you are a CLD primary, you will have the CL division tag and it will color you green. For secondaries, this is how it's going to work. For a secondary, say, let me pick on somebody here. Yourself, Oxygen. Let's say you're a CLD main, but you join JSGE as a fighter pilot or Viper. You would still get the roles. You could still get the Reaper Squadron role, but you'll still be colored green, denoting that you are a CLD primary. Because what we are eventually working towards is that if you're going CLD and you don't want to be military whatsoever, you do not have to have the rank at all. However, if you do decide, you will still have the rank listed. Like I could have junior tech listed on myself right now, or I think it's junior tech. I think that was what it was I used to be. But I would still display my normal rank. I'm not sure if that answers your question. And yes, you can still attend trainings if it's not a primary. The only time you wouldn't be able to is if they actually closed it down. So let's say you weren't part of Reaper Squadron and I made a Reaper Squadron only training because we're getting ready for an OVO, that would be the only exception, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and to add to that for CLD specifically, all CLD trainings are open to everybody anytime. So if you want to try them out, see what we do, no matter if you're JSG or CLD, you're welcome to come anytime.
Those with an interest in the fleet side of things as well, you're more than welcome to sign up and reach out if you're interested in attending some of the trainings. There's a lot more information that is available to people when they do click into the different channels. The main one is just make sure that you read through the couple of different divisions, etc. within JSGE. There's a application form just to make sure that we know who is interested, and it'll outline as well what we intend to do within the actual divisions. In particularly, I've already that outlined for the Titan Academy, or rather for the Hyperion fleet, that is. So, as always, my DM's open. Most people probably already know that, but I don't bite. If you have questions, by all means, always feel free to reach out to me.
Dragon, let me just say one thing about OPSEC.
If you want to.
Okay. Folks, part of the reason we're doing this, I guess, scrub of channels and roles and this, that, and the other, and Starbuck mentioned it a little bit ago about OPSEC, operational security. So we've had every org has it, but we want to make sure that the people are here, that are in, roles or positions that could provide information to someone outside of the org to cause us, issues like passing information on to a pirate org to attack us, disturb our trainings, this, that, and the other. We just want to keep OPSEC down. We want to keep it.
We want to keep it
out. Yeah, we want to keep. We want to keep the people that are in leadership and even in the org, keep you focused on being in the org, doing things with the org that's fun and so forth, and not have to worry about people, crashing our parties, so to speak. So OPSEC is a very important thing for us and extremely important for JSGE, I think would be for obvious reasons. But so you're going to see some things going on between now and the middle to the end of January, but it's all about trying to keep our information secure and, just in the right hands.
But to go on with that, like, if you're here right now, that probably does not really apply to you, because like I'm seeing here mostly active people who are already in the unit and who are have done a lot of stuff and so on. So it's more like the vanishing of channels. I mean, it's probably not going to apply to you. It's the rest, of course, it is. But
I do have to add on to that. There's something I do have to say. There is a category that I renamed because it was misleading. It's called public area. That literally means public. That means anyone could almost join those voice channels. All they have to do is have been verified. So they could be from whoever, as long as they verified through there, they could join the voice channel. And those channels are ones that you shouldn't be talking about stuff that is like org business, because they're public. That's why I named it that way, so that you would see in the category and it would kind of click that those are kind of like open channels.
As the old saying goes, loose lips sink ships.
Right, I'll give it a few more moments for Focus to type out his question. And nobody else has one? Yeah. It's going to be a short settle.
Thank God, because I have snow to shovel still.
Goldblaze just asked something. How does it work if you want to do two things within the fighter wing, for example? The fight wing. So I guess he's asking if you can do like Reaper and the fleet.
Okay. So the way I'm this is kind of going to be different from the old days. In the old days, you pretty much picked the primary and secondary within JSGE. I'm not about that anymore. The way we are now looking at it is we have the academy. That's where all the training goes on. You have Titan, which is Hyperion. You have Viper, which is fighter pilots. And you have Marine Boot Camp, which is Marine, and it'll be the medical. What is going to matter is your qualification level. Because if you start looking through Titan, they have like Helmsman 1, Helmsman 2, Helmsman 3. I could be quoting these wrong. I have Viper Cadet, Viper Pilot, Viper Adept, Viper Ace. What's going to matter is your actual level. So you technically could be a Viper Pilot, be in Hyperion, be in Dragon's Fire, be in Marine, be in every CLD part. When it comes to us doing stuff, what you're qualified at, which one's your highest qualification, is more likely where you're going to be slated. I'm doing this for the reason of thinking of it as units more than one of them's always going to be the one you want to do the most. That one should be the one that you're the most qualified at. But we're trying to get rid of the restrictiveness. So if we have an OVO, let's say I'll get on the list. We have Siren, Oxygen, Ruckus, Gold Blazed, Focus. Like each one of you are qualified at something else. Obviously, there's a sign up list, and then we go down and pick you based on what you're qualified to do. So if Gold, you signed up to be a fighter pilot and you're a Viper Adept, but you're also available to be a Marine and you hold X qualification. Maybe you got Marine 2, whatever they're going to call it. We don't know yet. But the fighter pilots are full. We could then slot you as a Marine. So it just gives us options of where to use people. It's kind of treating everyone as a big pool that is within the military and going off of what they know rather than locking you into one thing and that's all you can do. I think I should have just said that at first. But yeah, that's the shorty of it. We're not going to lock people. It's going to be based on your qualification level. But don't kill yourself either. Don't like join every unit and try to attend everything because then you burn yourself out. Then
we have from Focus Clayman explain the sign-up process and where to find information, how to get to different departments. Think lights. If you have a voice, come up here and explain people where they need to get information about CLD signups, unit signups, and so on.
Yeah, so it really kind of depends. Anything that you're like want specifics on, feel free to go ahead, open a S1 ticket. If not, for the current moment, until we kind of institute some of these changes, there's the branch recruitment thread right now. My understanding is correct. You can go in there, grab the 501st and 332nd recruit role, which will then get you access to the academy. And then from there, you can kind of go down those paths. If it's a staff position you're interested in, we do have a staff application process. You can get that in Sigma Access. There's a button for it. Click it. It'll bring you to a Google form, and then S1 will bring in your application and distribute it to the OIC of the staff group that you're looking to apply to. For CLD, the current process is under Get a Role. Go ahead, select any of the kind of CLD focused roles, hauling, salvage, refueling, mining, anything like that, and that will get you the CLD RC Tech kind of rank, I guess. And then from there, once you complete your first cert and your basic trainings, from there you will earn your junior tech role and kind of progress down that path from there. Sorry, I vomited information. If any of that was not caught, feel free to open an S1 ticket and we can converse in there.
Going on with your second question to that, we don't have like there should be a pin somewhere, but that's like I know that this is a poor documentation. Yes, we will have to work on getting the processes more publicly available and noticeable. I know that like, people should get some of those messages when they join, but like sometimes when you join, you don't really care about it, and then you lose the messages. And yeah, I know it's not good right now. We do need to work on that documentation. Yeah, that was that. Structure, yeah. No, Terminus Helix, yeah, exactly. Like streaming events in public channels, probably not the best idea. That's exactly that. Because if we, it's just opening you up to getting owned. Although, I mean, maybe it's exactly what you want because you want to fight people and invite people to join you and get attention. I don't know if that's your thing. But yeah, in general, we shouldn't be doing that. Strucker, I'm so sorry. I know it's not pronounced like that. He's asking if he's missing announcement or events without having the JSGE role. Has done 3 trainings and requested to join a while ago. Right now, you shouldn't be missing anything. We haven't done that many events in the last week or two, so if you haven't seen anything, it's not because you missed something, because there weren't that many. Yeah. Other than that, like get in touch with Starbuck about the JSGE part, or like what's your next step there to figure that out. I think that might have gone somewhat like in when we had change in leadership, that this like you might have fallen a bit through the cracks, and I'm sorry for that. All right, there was that. Then oxygens. How would events work now, considering we have shards with 500, 600 people going between Stanton and Pyros with spawning, etc.?
Well, at the end of the day, when we're doing events, we're going to get as many people as we possibly can. We would like to start at one single place, whether that's in Pyro or Stanton, preferably Stanton. And then, we just go and, do the jump point. And but spawning, we want to do spawn in one particular place. That just makes things way more simpler. And that will be in the operations order that is for the events, where the spawn location will be. And but yeah, 500-600 people per shard. I think it's good all the way around. We'll get as many people in there as we possibly can, and those numbers will rise as the server meshing gets better. But Oxygen, did that answer your question?
Also to add on to that, yes, we are aware that at some point we will need to make sure that we coordinate our events when it comes to locations, so that we don't have like, hey, today we have 2 events. One is run at a far out place in Pyro, and the other one is run at Microtech, the first place away from the Pyro jump gate, and you have like 10 minutes to go between them. Yes, this needs to be coordinated at some point. As long as we don't really have that many events up again yet, I don't think it's too big of an issue. But it's going forward, we know that this is something that we'll have to take in mind.
I think we missed focus of this question here. Is there website /wiki or doc that explains this info?
I pulled that ahead. Because yes, like that's when I said like we don't have we have the process for joining different units and so on, and various channels and various pinned messages, and I think in one of the messages new recruits get. But yeah, it's not easy to find, and we need to change that and make it like the whole let's say documentation of how the org works more accessible. But I'm going to do that only once we're done with the code rework, because if I try to document it now, stuff will change quicker than I am able to document it. But yes, we need to do that for sure.
All right. So as Tactical Golden Retriever asked about, the basic pilot marine schedules and so forth. Let's see, that I can't see because of permanent jank, or they just not been run. It could be that, you have to, there's a training schedule that gets set up, but we also announce it in events and so forth. They have been kind of small, here in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So once that schedule kind of, when we get enough people signed up, and I would prefer that we have a set schedule, each week. That remains to be seen. We'll see if we can do that. But at the end of the day, yes, you will be, it will be announced when those marine basic trainings and the marine are the pilot, basic pilot is being done.
Yeah, and they are very close to being public trainings, and so you should not have permission issues, because like taking your trainings is part of getting all the roles that you need to get more permissions and stuff. So it's like these, like especially basic pilot, basic marine, gravity comms, those should be all trainings that are hopefully should not see any permission issues. But like I said, we had not that many run in the last weeks or so. People were focused on like holiday busyness and getting ready for 4.0 and restructuring the org, and yeah, basic trainings fell a bit to the side, I think. I don't see anyone typing. I don't see raised hands, so I'll go wrap this up.
I just have one thing to clarify things. So I've been getting asked a lot of questions about, I can't access the academy. I can't do this. Right now, the only ones with access to the academy are the existing 501st recruits, so that they can apply for either Fleet or Viper. The Marine section is not ready, so it's not open to Marine recruits yet. You're still going under your old method via the Marines until that part's finished. Same with medical. But as of right now, it's only open to them. It is not, at the end, by tonight, it's going to open up to all existing Air Wing members, because your roles are being retired along, since the 501st Air Wing role itself is being retired. Those roles are going to get retired. So you'll start to be able to apply tonight. We're doing it in waves. This way I'm not getting flooded with like 100 applications in one day. And then you're going to have access. And then once all of them are set up, hopefully in January, it'll go open to all new recruits and everyone. Granted, it might open in sections again before then, depending on who's ready. But just keep in mind, just because you have the 501st Air Wing role right now does not mean you'll be 501st Air Wing if you don't apply. You have to apply. We are basically refiltering everyone, because there's a lot of people that have been with the role that have not been seen in years. So we're going through everyone. You will have to apply, because we are going to check. You have to have BSI as your primary org. If you do not, you will not be getting admitted. That's just the way the org is. We're going back to that existence. That's how we're going to be. Yeah. So if you are a part of if you're a recruit right now, make sure you apply. And you guys who are already in the Air Wing now, you will be getting the chance to apply, to go through and have the rules added, be rechecked, vetted, everything, and get everything added. That should happen tonight. And then we'll do the Marines as they become available. It's just a thing where me and Hard Random haven't been able to sit down and talk holiday stuff for him. Me, I'm working 6 days a week. And medical is still being completely written. So that's going to probably be the one that'll go last.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who joined today. I also want to hand out another very deep thank you to everybody who has done stuff with us in this year. All the staff members who've spent incredible amounts of hours and work and put their heart into the org. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Without you, this org wouldn't be existing anymore. This is these kind of people. Everybody who's joining events, who's being active, who's playing with us, who's having fun. Thank you all for doing that with us, doing that here. And I'm looking very much forward to doing a lot more of these fun activities with you all next year. Enjoy your holidays. Happy holidays. We're not going to do a traditional BSI winter break, but activity will be slower over the holidays as people are busy, people have stuff to do, people have families that will get upset if they vanish into Star Citizen all day. But we're still trying to get events done. We're still continuing with the WeWork. So yeah, happy holidays. Come play with us if you're if you have the free time. Yeah, thank you all for being here and being awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
I think
Happy holidays, guys and gals.
Happy holidays, everybody.
happy holidays. Run away. Run away.